guys, so today we're going to talk about kindling. Alright you guys, so if you might have guessed, we do use wood to heat our house. And yeah, we do have a furnace, but propane is not exactly cheap, and wood saves us a lot of money. Plus we have a lot of wood that we've been having to cut down on our property because, well, the trees have been overgrown for a long time. So we are going to be having firewood forever, probably. And I thought this was a good opportunity to show you guys what I like to use for kindling. Maybe it'll give you guys some ideas. I'm sure all of you out there have had campfires and things like that, and or your own wood stoves. But I think it's just fun to show people, you know, or share, you know, ideas with others when it comes to certain things like that. And as you can see, today is a sunny day. It's not cold outside or anything like that, which is kind of weird for this time of year because it is in November right now. But California's like that. We get some sunny days here and there up until probably January, and then it really socks in and gets cold, or at least where we live anyway. And like I said, I wanted to take the opportunity to show you guys what I like to use because the lighting is just perfect today. And hopefully maybe you can get something from it. Okay, first of all, I like to introduce my favorite kinds of tinder. Tinder is basically something that helps to get the spark going so that it can ignite enough to get to the kindling. This piece right here obviously is dryer lint. It's nice and fluffy and fuzzy, and there's pieces of hair in it, probably dog hair too. It's just, yeah. And then we have some woolly leaf mullein, which is nice and fuzzy, and it's been dried for probably a couple years, so it's, you know, pretty combustible, and there's probably some other debris and stuff like that in there. You could also use cattail fluff or cotton balls or anything like that that's kind of fluffy that will help, you know, as an accelerant. Some people like to put their cotton balls in Vaseline or candle wax or something like that to help it along. You can most certainly do that if you like, but you don't have to. And then the next step that I like to use, especially if I'm outside doing the camping kind of thing, is something stringy like this. And this is cedar bark, and it's really old that I found on the ground, and it's kind of like a treasure. If you find something like this is a good thing. Cedar is going to burn readily anyway, even if it's green. But if you can find like this stringy old bark like this is going to be your best friend, especially if you don't have any newspaper or anything like that. And this is a really, really good thing to have. To me, like, finding this was like winning the lottery. I really was just very happy when I found it. And so what you do is you put your little piece of tinder, and you don't have to have a ball this big. Some people do, but I don't. Probably about half this size. And you put these two together and you light them, and then it really sets your kindling off. And so yeah, that's like if you don't have any paper, or you don't want to use paper, if you just want to like practice your skills at starting a fire. And this stuff is good for even if you have a lighter or a torch or whatever. This, you know, this will definitely go up faster. But if all you have is like a fire striker, like, you know, like a flint and steel or something like that, or even like a ferro rod, this is stuff that you want to have on hand just in case. And so now I want to show you what I like to use for kindling. Okay guys, so I'm out here at the kindling stash, and don't laugh, but I walk around and collect sticks. It's very necessary for me to feel safe and secure to collect sticks. And yes, even when I lived in my little van over there, I always had at least some sort of twigs hanging around in case I needed to start a twig fire for whatever reason in the wintertime. You just never know. You could be in a camping situation, you could be in a survival situation, you could be like, you know, anything can happen. So basically what I like to do is make sure that I've got like the twig size, which are little guys like this. And I want to have something with an edge on it like this, that's like split, or an old board or something. And also, you know, the regular old sticks that are round, you know, various sizes. And basically what you do is you build it up. You take your tinder and you build a little stick fire around it, and then you just keep feeding it bigger and bigger and bigger as the fire keeps going and going. And you can build a little teepee with all these little guys in it if you want. There's plenty of guys out there making videos that'll show you how to build a fire. Basically what I'm trying to convey to you is the things that I like to use in my fires. Yeah, this is like, you know, a twigs. And basically what you want to make sure is that you can break them with your hand like that. Because if you're out in the woods and you're gathering firewood, or if you're just like in a hurry, or if you just want your fire to start and you're cold, you don't want to mess around stuff that's green, because it's not gonna go anywhere. So and you don't want to mess around with leaves. Leaves, you know, everybody thinks leaves burn. They do, but it takes them a long time. In fact, when you're starting fires, what do they tell you to put your little ember in a leaf so you can carry it to the place where you're going to have your fire. So yeah, leaves are not something that I recommend as actual kindling. You can throw them in the fire once it's going, but yeah, they're not going to really start your fire. Like pieces of old grass and, like, you know, the fluffy stuff I showed you guys, that's going to help start the fire, but the leaves are not going to. What you want is good sticks, good twigs, and you want something that's split too, not just the round stuff. If all you have is the round stuff, then yeah, that's what you're going to have to deal with. But like if you could split some wood and get some like sharp edges on it, it's going to take fire faster, even if it's large. So that's what you want. You want a mixture of that kind of stuff plus your twigs and your sticks, and just build yourself a little teepee with your fire, you know, starter underneath it, whatever the case may be, whether it's your newspaper, whether it's your fluffy stuff like I just showed you guys, or whatever tricks that you have up your sleeve. That's what you want inside your teepee. And you want to have a combination of like split wood with an edge on it, and your round twigs and your sticks. Okay, so this might be hard to see because this is inside my wood stove. I could do this outside, but I just don't want to. But I didn't build a teepee. What I did was I kind of built a sloppy kind of log cabin style, and anybody that's built a campfire knows what I'm talking about. The teepee is kind of like a triangle shape, like a teepee, and you put all the wood around it. Well, in my wood stove, there's not really that much room for a big enough teepee to do anything. So I built a log cabin inside there. And as you can see, there's the fuzzy, drier, linty kind of stuff. And then I've got my stringy bark. You can also use twine, like jute twine. Works great. That's a good to have on hand for emergencies. And then I have, you know, my little twigs and sticks and stuff. And as you can see, it goes from twig and stick size up to a little bit of a split piece of wood, and that's what you want. And once this starts going, then I'll put the bigger logs on top. But that's basically how I build a fire. Sometimes I cheat and I put paper in there or whatever. Because I am not using a ferro rod or something to strike it with, or a hand drill or anything like that, my tinder is right there in the bottom of the pile already. I'm not going to ignite it outside of the stove. I'm going to use some type of match or a lighter or something like that to ignite it and have it just start going inside the stove. But if I was to be outside in a survival situation, that little ball of tinder and the little stringy pieces of bark would be carried over on a leaf after they've been ignited to the bigger pile of fire. So yeah, that's basically how it's going to work. And there you go. Okay guys, so I'm gonna cheat, and I'm just gonna use my little fireplace lighter here, light this on fire, and I'm probably going to put it out right after I let it go because, well, we probably don't really need a fire tonight, so, but I'm just doing this for the video, so, there we go. And hopefully you guys have one of these torches. They're great. But see how, like, my little tinder's going up there? That's my dryer lint. And then I want to put that stuff on top, and see how it makes the fire get bigger almost instantly? It's basically like, kind of like a fuse. You want it to just keep going and going and going till it gets to burning. And I just kind of, you know, stick my finger in there and do what I got to do to get the fire to go. And it's just as easy as that. Once you have a spark, that's it. Okay, so like if I wanted to keep that fire going, all I would have had to have done is just kept feeding it small little things, especially like the pieces of bark and stuff that I showed you. It would have just kept going, or I could have just moved it around to like more twigs and that kind of thing. And it would still be, you know, a nice big roaring fire. But I really do not want that tonight because it's not cold. But I just wanted to show you guys that in the video, just in case it's starting to get cold where you guys are at, or, you know, so you could have it for future reference or whatever. But yeah, here pretty soon it's going to be cold enough at night where we're going to be wanting to have a fire every night. And yeah, so hopefully that's just some of my take on it. Those are the things that I like to do. Ron, he starts fires different than I do. He just says, yeah, put a torch on it and just keep it going. But if, you know, I like keeping my like bushcrafting skills up. So when I start a fire, I kind of play with it and pretend like I'm outside doing a campfire. But yeah, you know, each to your own. But yeah, this would come in handy if you guys ran out of newspaper or whatever, or like I said, just wanted to polish up on your skills, or show your kids how to start a fire out in the woods in a survival situation, or whatever you need to do. There's plenty of really good YouTube channels out there that show people how to start fires from scratch and all that kind of good stuff. That wasn't the object of this video. Basically what I just wanted to show was what I like to use for kindling, and just maybe hopefully give you guys some ideas. So hopefully this was a help to you. Hopefully it was entertaining or whatever, or maybe you thought it sucked. Whatever the case may be, put it in the comments, let me know. And alright guys, I guess I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one. Thanks for watching. Bye.